I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm one of your hosts, Alper Markov.
I'm Allison.
I'm Beasley. That makes us the Magic Moronz podcast.
We are a podcast.
Perfect.
That's fantastic. I love the delivery, Beezy. That was fantastic. What was
Thank
that
you.
voice?
I thought it really fit the show.
It did. It
That's
did
my
fit
moron
the show.
voice.
Mine's like, tonight we're going to be talking about March of the Machines and sort of just some like thoughts on it. What are your thoughts on this so far? I mean, I will say I'm actually kind of loving the like maniac aspects of it too. It's just sort of throw everything in from the kitchen sink kind of thing into it. I kind of dig it. What do you think?
It's like even more endgame than War of the Spark was, and they're both endgame, but they're like, no, this is the real endgame. We're gonna just throw everybody at you from everything. I don't know. My first pre-release was New Phyrexia. It's like I started playing standard right around like Scars of Mirrodin, so I'm like all for this. This is all I've ever wanted.
This set is awesome. So far, I mean, it's again like I don't know where are we starting. We're starting at the story. It's like you said, it's like endgame. This is a final thing, and it doesn't even like I don't know what the final story is, but it still doesn't look like after March of the Machines the Planeswalkers are going to be winning, which is kind of crazy because I don't know where they're going because it looks like. And I don't know if you, I'm sure you've all seen the new art of Elishnorn.
Mm-hmm.
The brand new art. It's in a Planeswalker. Vertical. It's a Planeswalker dimensions. Like that's the dimensions when they order those dimensions when they want a Planeswalker card. Like they don't just order those dimensions usually. So it's like
still become a Planeswalker and then die. But I don't know how they're supposed to get rid of like the Phyrexians are clearly already on like every plane. It's kind of like a virus. You'd have to make some kind of ex machina sweeping. Oh, all the Phyrexians are gone. Just with some kind of magical wish.
It's kind of like a pandemic, right? Where it's like once it starts, you can't really stop it.
It's like I don't think we have a word for what it would be because it's like pandemic isn't that like everywhere, but like there must be like a word for like universe demic or something. I don't know, like multiverse demic. I don't know. It's like
Plane-demic?
Plane-demic?
Is that it?
I like
plane. I think that would imply
just
a plane.
That would also imply that pan means Earth in the case of the pandemic, which I don't think it does.
Yeah, no, that's true. But okay, so then there are a couple of thoughts on this, and Alice and I talked about this on the last episode. So there has been a rumor circulating that Magic is possibly planning to annihilate its IP completely in the next few years and make it a solely Universes Beyond sort of thing, which I don't like. Any thoughts on that? I would love to get your all's reactions on that possibility. We don't have any way to substantiate it. It's just a rumor, but it did frighten me deeply because it seems possible. Is what
nothing could ever stop me from playing Magic, but that would certainly disappoint me.
I also feel the same way. Where it's like, I would still play Magic even if every set was if the next set's Street Fighter, the next set's Fortnite, the next set's we'll just keep going. Doesn't matter. But if all the sets are just whatever, I would still play. But it would definitely worsen the game. I feel it's tough because like what happens with random IPs is if say that is the case and that's what they're going to do. You already have an opinion on the IP. So it's like, here comes a set, and you already know whether you are interested or not based on like just the name of the set. But it's like, that's not that true with Magic. Where it's like, when they tell you they're going to a plane like Ixalan for the first time, it's like, I don't know what to expect. It's Ixalan. What the hell is Ixalan? Let's go there. But if they're like, we're going to Fortnite, and it's like, well, I hate that. Like, I already know I hate that.
Well, how do you build up anticipation for a set when every set is just another IP? It's like March of the Machine is like, however many years in the making. And to me, it's like the coolest thing ever. My 12-year-old self was like exploding. But if it's just like Lord of the Rings, Doctor Who, Fortnite, it's just the same expectation level from every single one.
That's the concern, I think, is that they have the people. And so I'll clarify if like we talk about Hasbro when we talk about Wizards of the Coast, we're talking about Hasbro. We're not talking about Wizards of the Coast. Like Wizards of the Coast they have to do what they're told. And these ideas come from the top. So the main concern is that they see it as a short-term moneymaker for the shareholders, and that's all that they care about. Like literally, they're like horses with blinders on, except the blinders aren't in front of them, and they don't think about any like sort of like the effect of the game long term, because they don't care, because they could be out of there by the time that happens. And that's the thing about it, is that I think, was it Cynthia is the name of the CEO of Hasbro. I listened to their conference call, by the way. Guys, it sounded like a recording of robots. It was like, thank you for coming to the Wizards of the Coast annual shareholders meeting. And it was shocking to hear that, I think it's Chris Cox is the CEO, or he's the head of like Wizards. I think that's his name. Forgive me. It's Chris. He did admit that there was a bit of a wrong turn with the Magic 30 prices, which was like,
hooray,
okay.
We did it.
Finally.
We got a mild like, not an apology, but a mild note of like sort of.
How long it took them to admit
it? Well, okay,
yes, so a non-public mention.
Yeah, exactly. I think the D&D thing that happened though is going to change the way things are going to. Like, but just like, I know it's a little off topic, but like with the March on Machines, I just feel like there is. I mean, it's going to be so awesome, but it's also like, what happens if they do this? This is like, I don't want to say money shot, but there you go. Of the entire game's history thrown out at us in one set, and it has to be bonkers, right? Like it has to be. It's way too cool for it not to be. Like this set's going to be awesome. I mean, I don't think, although
it can't even be the end of the lore, because it's like, oh, where are we going after this? Ixalan, and then we're going back to Eldraine. It's like, what are they going to do?
I mean, that's what worries me.
That's the thing, is it's Ixalan and Eldraine. I think probably would be. I mean, I don't know. Ixalan, I think, might have just been like a fan favorite that people had complained about, but at the same time, I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not sure. Then again, though, the question goes back to, how did they get rid of the Phyrexians? I have a theory.
How could you possibly? Yeah.
My theory is that Emrakul could actually be used to do it, because when she went to Innistrad, she was dragged there by Nahiri, who is, good for her for being Phyrexian. I was very happy. Very happy. She drug Emrakul to Innistrad. Innistrad was not ready to accept Emrakul, and Emrakul tried to tell everybody. She literally sat down with Jace and was like, I'm not supposed to be here. And Jace was like, oh, I'm afraid and I'm confused. Like, the way that Jace usually is. And so she locks herself in the moon, and she says, ordinarily the soil is receptive. This time it wasn't. So what would happen, like, and my thoughts are, so what would happen if you take something that corrupts something that's pure? Then what would the reverse do? Like, possibly it could take a Phyrexian and reverse the Freecies, right? That's my only thought, because Emrakul is a huge, like literally huge, like plot hole that's just sort of sitting there. She can't just sit in the moon forever. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm trying to think of like what could possibly happen, and the one thing I never want to happen that seems slightly more likely is just a hard reset, or like a soft reset. I know I was like, I played like the Mortal Kombat games as a kid, and I was like catching up on the lore just because they reset the entire universe, where it's like somebody gets godlike power and then goes back to like the beginning of time and then resets everything like as God. It's like, oh, is Elspeth going to do that? I guess that would stop the Phyrexians real quick.
It's tough.
No, that's not good.
Doesn't that sound awful?
No, you don't like that.
It's just,
I wasn't like, good job, Mortal Kombat. You did it.
No.
It's really tough. This happens with all really, really long form storytelling.
Comic books.
Comic books.
How many characters have killed God?
How many characters in comic books have literally died? Like they all die, and
None of them.
Superman died. I remember that was a big deal in the 90s, and then like 2 weeks later there was 4 of them. Okay.
Yeah.
What happens is you do basically everything you can do, right? BC was already saying we've experienced Endgame. Well, we're doing Endgame again. And it's like, how many times can you do Endgame? You run into a wall, and how they take it from here is tough, because I I'm not. It's not like I'm an expert story writer. I'm not going to tell them they should be doing this or they should be doing that. But it's like the story grows boring and old. It's like Jace has been around for freaking like 20 years now, and it's like, well, I don't. Who cares about Jace anymore? It's like at least the Urza storyline ran a course in like a 10-year span.
There is no more Urza. There's no more Yawgmoth.
Yeah, it's like that. It ran its course, and it's like maybe this should run its course into the next version of the multiverse, where it's like, which I think is what's happening.
Yeah.
Which would be, it seems like we're running the course of this storyline where the Planeswalkers we know and care about, and basically I think is the Planeswalker we know now is not going to exist afterward, because I think the multiverse is going to be pulled together. That's and like connected somehow, connected through the tree, basically making everything a big Keldheim, which would be like a hard reset, because it's like, who cares if you're a Planeswalker? It means nothing. I can walk over the left and be an Innistrad. It's not that hard. It's like, you can teleport. Whoa.
It's interesting. I wonder how they're gonna manage to make it possible for like Thalia to be like, or is she gonna be on another plane? Or like, because the Thalia and Gitrog, the card that is just everybody's loving. It looks like she's on Innistrad, right?
I think so.
The background of it, I think, looks like Innistrad. So I wonder.
Look,
but there's like promotional art for the set that's very clearly set on like New Phyrexia or whatever, with like Chandra and Baral and Kyrie and Borborygmos running around, and they can't be on their home planes. They're off
yeah, right. Well, does it Borborygmos? I can't even pronounce that correctly. Borborygmos. And what's interesting too is I believe Olivia Voldaren has gotten Phyrexianized too. If you look at the new.
Oh, artwork, really?
Yeah, if you look at the new artwork for the secret layer, like I'll pull it up to show you guys. If you look at it,
where do you have that?
I'm going to do that.
Sick.
It's 1 second, pulling it up. I'll share the screen. I will do this. Allison, I can do this. I'm an adult.
Yeah. Go on.
Yes, I am looking at the Thalia card. She very much looks to be on Innistrad.
Yeah. Okay. So here is Olivia.
She definitely doesn't look like she's on New Phyrexia.
Check it out. Now, what's going on in the background? See, do we see her?
Yep.
Okay. So you've noticed like her right hand is black, and it's like to me that just looks like oil, like it's Phyrexian oil. And then the background of the like, I don't know, these spiny things.
That's usually the tree, right?
Yeah, that looks like the seed core, doesn't it? Or yeah, Realmbreaker. I believe that she's Phyrexianized, and her eyes are black now. Like, it just that's my theory. She looks like she could be Phyrexianized. Which means she's I
thought it was kind of weird that they did Heliod. That was really cool at first, but then it's like they did the classic Magic thing where on the flavor text, I think Johnny's like, "Oh, complete the god, complete the plane," and then when they discuss the lore, it's literally the opposite. You complete the people who believe in him, so he just becomes like completed. You can't actually complete him. It's like thanks for that one, Magic.
Yeah,
Johnny, just say the other way around.
Johnny didn't think that one through, did he? Well, maybe because
Johnny has no idea what's going on.
No, he's such a prick now. Like, he's such a prick. Like, he was so noble, and now he's just like, he always is saying something snarky. Like, hello, Elspeth, I'm glad you could join us. It's like, stop that. Stop it. You don't have to be like snark is something that's too akin to an emotion, right? Like,
yeah.
Phyrexians can't be snarky.
Well, they keep some of their planeswalker-y self, but it's not like a Johnny who was.
But he wasn't like a bitch.
Every other word out of his mouth was like peace.
Yeah. Oh, I love peace. Like
friend.
Righteous paladin of justice.
Now you see the power of peace.
I love the Planeswalker voice of his, because now the new one, it just sounds like the guy has like butter and tar in his throat, like he's been smoking for like he's like but it's still got that Ajani voice. The Lucas sounds insane. I don't know if you guys have heard that.
Lucas just screams. That dude's out of his mind. He literally just screams.
He's just like,
he's stoked to be completed. He's happy. He's living his best life.
He's finally free. He can finally go on and bump it for Phyrex and run over to the forest.
It was so sad. He got Phyrexianized and everybody was like, and? What?
Yeah, nobody was sad.
No.
Out of nowhere.
Do you think that he could be the most...
bad for Luca?
You do?
Kind of an idiot.
He's a moron.
It's hard to. It's hard to feel bad for someone who's so stupid.
He's a moron, and he is just he's so easily duped. Like, it's just like, hey, do you want to get involved with the stupidest thing you could do? Sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
The
bond with the
Oryx sounds
Phyrexian.
great. What are we doing?
But if I go on for
They told me to avoid the Phyrexians, so what I will do is I'll get really close, like physically close to it, and I'll
Like
bond
in my
with it.
spine.
Also, like, I will say this though: the new Luca is like actually the hottest Luca I think I've seen. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little attracted to the Phyrexian Luca. Like, not ignoring the beast, like just the puppet part, like of Luca. I'm just throwing that one in there. So, if Elishnorn becomes a planeswalker, does that mean they all become planeswalkers? I guess is like.
No, I think it would just be her.
Yeah. So my guess is all of the new
Praetors?
Praetors, all the new Praetors are going to be flip cards, and Elishnorn will flip into a planeswalker.
That would
be
be
my guess.
pretty.
You think they're gonna flip into? Joe thinks they're gonna flip into different stuff because
I
Saga's
think
around Kamigawa.
I think they're
That's a
all
good
going to flip
idea.
into different stuff, but also,
Vorinclex is gonna be like an MDFC where you choose a side.
Ooh.
oh, that'd be cool.
He could
I
be.
mean, what would the other ones be? There
No,
was
no, it's funny, BZ. Sagas were also on Dominaria and on Kaldheim.
Oh, yeah.
They were
So
just
I think they're. I would just assume they're all going to be sagas except for Elishnorn.
the only plane
Right.
that introduced a Praetor that didn't have sagas was Capenna.
Yeah, because Urbrask sucks.
Urbrask could. Urbrask.
Okay. Okay,
is the-
yeah. Well, might talk about something weird. How about let me find the. Have you guys seen the Ayara art?
Yeah.
Nope.
How about the fact that? How about this for an image? Okay. Alp, you want to pull up for BZ the two Ayara arts?
Okay. I thought that I did.
Don't think
I
you
think I
see-
shared. I think I shared for everybody to share. But if you're not able to do it, I will pull it up.
Oh, hold on. Is that the one where she's
I just don't know how to do it.
There's a Phyrexian Ayara.
One sec. Yeah.
Yes.
She's been turned, and she is now known as. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. I got this
She's
here.
a
One
flip.
sec.
She's a flip card.
She's
It
flipped.
can be a flip card like the
There's-
other one.
there's
Yeah,
gonna be
probably
a
like
lot of-
Heliod, right?
there's
Where
gonna be
you
a lot of
Phyrexian
flips.
cost.
Okay, one sec. I'm gonna pull her up.
They're really flipping the tables in a second.
Oh, I got it here, Alper. If you want to give it,
Oh, jeez.
if you could tell me how to do it.
Okay, well, one sec. I got it here. Here we go. And share. So we got Ayara.
Okay.
Let me just see if I can maybe bring her over a little
See,
bit.
I saw the one on the
It's
left,
a giant.
and I was like, "Oh, it's Ayara."
Yeah.
I did not see the one on the right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But
So
her title is really so
Her
she
title, yes.
yeah on the left she is a Ayara, Widow of the Realm,
Yeah.
and then on the right she is Ayara, Furnished Queen, meaning she was one willingly completed, and two
Does it?
yeah, I would assume so. It seems as if she was willingly completed, and it seems that she is Urbrask's queen.
I was gonna say she
wow.
married.
Now, I
Urbrask?
want you to use the image.
Of them boinking.
Yeah, Urbrask is like a big, giant, scary beast. You can pull up the
His
the
new
other
artwork.
the new Urbrask. Yeah, he does not. They don't look compatible in bed. I'll say.
No, it's like I feel like that Urbrask has like a cloaca or something, where it's just
Oh,
like,
Christ. Oh, no.
if you all don't know what
Yeah,
that is,
he's-
look it up. It's dolphins have them too. It's the reason why
I will.
I don't swim with dolphins. And by the way, if you swim with a dolphin and a dolphin goes to play with you or like drown you, it's not trying to drown you, by the way. It is trying to mate with you.
Dolphins are
Other-
evil.
I don't
Dolphins
know.
are real evil people. Thanks.
How do I share screen here?
So you go down to, you just go to the, like, you go to your
The
name,
green share
right?
screen.
Joe, or Allison, you know how to do this. You've done this before. You're the tech guy.
I got
You're
it, I got
You're
it.
the code monkey.
There we go. There we go.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the Urbrask. Now
Yeah. He looks
They're
vicious.
not
I'll
gonna-
give him that much.
they're not going to
Yeah.
be getting. They're not. If one, how do you kiss that? You
They
can't
finally
kiss that.
made him look scary though.
He
Yeah.
does
I
look
know. He finally looks scary. His other art, there, he hasn't had a good art where he looks scary
Because
yet.
the
This
No.
is
background has always
This
just
is
been
it.
red sludge every time.
Yeah. He looks pissed. And, but yeah, no, I don't know if I'd want to boink that.
no. Wait, BZ. I know. I remember now. I remember why we know that she has to be willingly. Urbrask doesn't complete people without
That's true,
their
doesn't
without their
you
willingness.
have to consent.
So,
That's good.
so she had to like
He's feeling lonely.
yeah. So like she said she wanted to be completed and allowed it because like he wouldn't do it otherwise.
Maybe Urbrask flip into a creature which is super hot.
Well, isn't Praetor a creature? Like,
Yeah, he'll be a creature. He'll flip
I mean,
into.
a humanoid creature. There we go.
or
I'm
that
interested
would be,
to see what it will flip into. All
Like-
the flips
Well,
are
I
going to
think
be very
they all
interesting.
have like their like the great synthesis is like what Jingataxius believes in. I think his
Right.
was like the great work or something for
yeah,
Weird
it would be
foreheads or whatever.
like
The
so
great
for
work.
yeah, because Vorinclex
The great-
is all
the
about
great
might.
synthesis sounds real. The great synthesis sounds really cool. The great work
Urbrask
sounds like
is just eating paste in the corner. He can't do anything right.
It's true. He's you
Like,
got to watch him because he'll get into that stuff.
I mean, he's going at it. I mean,
Urbrask, come on.
they're coming at the war. I mean, there is a war between. I mean,
That
Urbrask
one
is
that
definitely.
matters.
What
does
was
not
he doing
like-
in Nuka Band, for fuck's sake?
Absolutely nothing.
he was
Yeah,
going
you're
to,
right.
but he was there to talk about
That-
Halo. He
that
was there
was the
like for
only-
Halo info,
The
right?
conversation
Some-
seems to have not
he was-
mattered.
He was
Well-
sent there for Halo by Elishnorn, but he didn't really do anything, and
No,
he was in the story very, very little.
I don't know
He
if
had
he was
one
sent there by
conversation with Vivian.
Elishnorn. I don't think he was sent there
I
by Elishnorn.
think
I
he
think that was a
snuck there.
covert. Yeah, I
Oh,
think
he-
it was
oh,
covert.
he
Yeah, he
snuck
snuck
there?
away.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
because in that
He was
image
trying to find
that
a girlfriend ever since then, maybe.
Yeah.
well, he's got a wifey poo now. It's like I mean,
Now, yeah.
like Furnace
You got it.
Queen. I mean, well, IR I
Like,
guess
oh,
is a
man.
little bit of a social climber.
Deseret, Vivian's a
I mean,
baddie.
she's
Where
always
do I
been.
find someone
She's
like
always
that?
been like that, right? Her whole Hayara's whole thing is that she has like hundreds and hundreds of widowed husbands, or she's always a widow. Her husband's always
Hundreds.
died.
She's
Hundreds.
At the time.
she's a literal Black Widow.
Yeah, she's been alive. She's like immortal. She drinks from the black chalice.
She's
The
an elf
cauldron.
too,
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
she? Isn't she an elf?
Yeah,
think
she
so.
is no. She's
It's-
been
it's
up, but
the-
she's
Like a mono
she's
black
been alive
elf, that's-
forever.
like a triple
Weird.
like mono black elf that like she doesn't feel like elf, but I'm glad she is elf because she doesn't look like elf either.
Just to be,
She looks like a person.
let's double
regular
check.
old person.
Yeah.
Regular
Just with
old
the-
human.
Yep, she's an elf.
Horns and the veil.
She also has the weird nose ring that attaches to your ear. So she's got one of those.
Oh.
Mm. What's that called? A Princess
I have no clue.
Albert? I don't know. I have no idea. Well, I'll write Ayara and ask her. So the Furnace Queen is happening. It's just disturbing. And then, but at the same time, like I'm more disturbed by the fact that Ayara might have red now in her casting cost because I'm just like purist. I'm like, no, she's mono black. That's you can't do that. You can't make her.
No, she'll flip into a red card. You won't be able to cast her for red.
Yeah.
That's true.
Probably.
Oh, thank goodness. That would worry me.
Maybe-
Now, I
Maybe-
will
maybe
say,
have a red ability or
She'll be a
something.
black card that has pay something in a red to flip it.
Like a Phyrexian red, yeah.
Phyrexian red. Yeah.
Ooh.
Like I will say this: if they don't do something with Edgar and Olivia,
Ooh.
I mean, there has to be. They have to have. If Maverick Fine can ride Galta, which
Yeah,
I'm not
everybody's
yeah,
entirely.
the
favorite
ca-
vampire, Maverick.
Dude,
Fang.
Yeah, who the hell cares? Why why? Well,
She
okay.
was a-
Golta's awesome. Golta's
Yes.
awesome. Why
Yes.
do we have Mavrin who nobody
Who's-
he's a unplayable chaff vampire from Ixalan.
Who
Who
had
cares?
Lapalani on there?
Yeah,
Huh?
give me Alaplan. There's other cool vampires.
That's
Nezahal.
don't
Have
like-
Nezahal ride.
Mhm. Give
Give me
me.
Megan Butcher. Give me Megan
Or
the
Yavanna,
Butcher.
Yeah.
Butcher, Magan,
The mythic one, Alenda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, literally any
Yeah.
vampire, like any rare vampire. besides-
Any other
Maverick
vampire
Fine-
is better than Maverick.
Yeah, they picked the worst one. The guy who nobody like.
You could have
I
been fucking
literally had to
Olivia.
look up. I had to look up his old card because I couldn't remember what he did.
Mhm.
I'd rather have the one in a black 1/1 vampire that drew a card and lose life. I'd rather have that guy.
That guy. The whatever
I think-
Conquistador.
Think about how brutal
Yeah.
it would have been if they made that veto of the veto vampire, the one who
Ooh.
like if it was
Man,
life link,
Vito?
it would be game over because you could give it life link and then just bam, hit with a 16/16.
For 400 in there.
Yeah, they really
I
did
mean-
their best to stick the two characters together.
I really
love-
like the design because it feels like partner. It feels like going back to partner, right? But
Yeah.
like instead of just choosing to go back in, kind of reminds me of Pokemon cards for some reason because they
Like
used to have
partner
those like
I mean, to be fair, team up is team up partner, whatever you want to call it. They did that in Pokemon years back now, so it makes sense to remind you of Pokemon. I mean, Thalia has been my favorite character for a long time in the lore, and Thalia Gitrog Monster is probably my literal favorite card of all time. Though I am a little disappointed because I don't like either of the arts that much.
Really?
That I still my favorite card of all time, design wise and like all over. Let me take
it altered.
Yeah,
I should get it altered.
Ain't that the first commander card? The commander they can use that can actually use cards from the graveyard. Because I think otherwise,
I'll hire Magali to do it, BZ.
Ooh.
Just pay $1,000.
Yeah,
have her paint on my.
I'm sure it did. I'm sure it's completely within everyone's budget. Yes.
Sure.
I'm sure
Magic
Magali would
artist.
just be like, top magic artist.
She's like, oh, that's cute. That's cute. No, she's absolutely sweet. I mean, like one of the most generous and just like sweet-natured people ever. I mean, like, what is happening here?
Joe's trying to put it in.
I was fixing my blur. I was blurred.
Oh, I was like, am I?
Yeah, you have to put your hand close to the camera and then pull it back slowly. And
I was like, are you snake charming or something? It's like,
no,
easy.
Magali. Okay, Magali is the most genuine person ever. Especially, I've only interacted with her on Twitter, so I haven't had a face-to-face interaction with her. But literally, she on Twitter responds to whatever you put with little like cute gifts. The last one I sent, somebody mentioned Magali for something, and I was like, oh yeah, literally today, because like this was like a week ago, I was looking at building a Magali deck. I'm like, how good could a deck be with only Magali cards? It'd be awful because it's just
but she's got like,
it turns out there's like 10 playable cards, and then you like from there.
It's gotta be a flavor win, Joe. That's what
it would be so cool though, because I love her art. But like I added her. I'm like, hey, yeah, I love I can't remember what her name is on there, but I just at Magali, and she responded with like a cute little Eevee gif. Like it's like and she always does that. She's responded to me with SpongeBob gifs too on there, and it's like, all right, Magali, you're the best.
She's a wonderful person, and if you guys are interested, if anybody's watching this, Joe was not there, BZ was not there for this, but they were busy at the time, but we did do a podcast with Magali where we talk about her work, and we have but we had like 7 or 8 people there. It was like something like that.
There was a lot of people there.
It was good times. But one of the best stories that she told was that when she realized that she had become so successful, because she sort of she didn't realize it was happening until it was happening, and she went to a show and the line of autographs were out the door, and she came in, she's like, who's that for? And they're like, you? And she's like, oh. And apparently she went into she signed all the autographs, went up to go to the bathroom, and then went to the stall and just fell asleep. just was so tired, she just fell asleep, and her husband was like freaking out. They found her, and they got into the bathroom, and there she was, just like on the toilet. I was like, wow, that's adorable. But yeah, she's great. I mean,
isn't she self-taught?
Yes, she is. She's self-taught, which is insane. I thought this
is a story I have for her. She's self-taught because she faced a lot of like sexism in schools in France, right? I've heard that.
It's pretty much that's sort of the deal with women in fantasy art in general. You know, even still to this day, there's aspects of it. But you know, when she got started, it was in the early zeros, I think. So the amount of times that the amount of stuff that has changed from then, like around that time, you could call somebody, like you could call a gay. I mean, I'm speaking from like experience. You could call a gay guy the F word in classroom and nobody would get in trouble. Like that's what 2000 was like. So that's how much things have changed. So I would imagine that the fantasy art realm was probably just as unforgiving, if not even more so, for women, because let's face it, it's the original persecution. But that all aside, she is a genuinely like just wonderful person,
and she's surprised out that. And now the Lord of the Rings set has a picture of like Gandalf holding a Baelor, and she painted that. So
and she thought she couldn't do monsters.
Yeah, she's pretty good at that.
Yes,
she's really good at that. Not only just creatures. Now, like, damn, monsters are huge things now.
Yeah, my favorite arts of Thalia are all by Magali.
Oh,
all my favorite ones. Johann Voss has really good ones, but it's like I can't. The Magali ones. They're so
good. Elishnorn too.
She did do Elish Norn's. I think she did the
Oh,
Planeswalker
yes,
Elish Norn.
That Norn was so
Or
good.
the alleged
So
Planeswalker.
good. The Planeswalker,
She's
yeah.
yeah, because I wonder like this is going to turn to Magali Posca, but I wonder like per capita, like or per count, like how many, like who's the number one most cover art used for Magic? Because I feel like she is. She did Modern Horizon, she did Throne of Eldraine, she did what am I missing one off the top of my head? But I think she's doing one for Mother of the Machines, I believe.
She did All Will Be One, right?
I think she did.
Yeah, that was the cover art was like Elish Norn, right?
Yeah, the cover art Alice Norn, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. That is not the one that's the Martina Faklova did the Elish Norn new artwork for just like the basic Elish Norn, which
yeah, but there was the step box I think has her own.
True. Yeah, that is true. I mean, she's a superstar. But I will say back to the vampires, and if they don't do something with Edgar and Olivia, I mean this is going to be it, right? Like there won't be a chance for like somebody has to die of those vampires. Like somebody has to die, and I'm fine with that happening. It's just make them useful, like make them interesting, make them a threat. Like if we can have Mavrin find say Edgar Markov and Olivia Voldaren on their own are great cards, right? Like the original Edgar, obviously, and the original Olivia. I mean, they're great, right? Even the Olivia card from Crimson Vow is not bad. It's a good card for vampire tribal, but
maybe not the Edgar,
it's like
but
a truck,
should Olivia.
Yeah, but they need to do something, and then just make it Mardu. Don't make it just make it Mardu and make it good, and don't make Mavrin Fine be the bomb vampire of the set, because that's just.
I mean, I was just looking at the alternate art, and there is one of the alternate art is basically like him and Gauta in a minted coin. So I think they got married.
What's cool about that is what we know from the cards they've shown with the team up cards is all the borders, which I think is really cool. If they did this, all of the alt borders that you see are from the plane.
Inspired by the plane, yeah.
Yeah, so the Thalia alt border is the one they used for Midnight Hunt and what was the other one? Crimson Vow.
Same for Liar and Catilda.
Yeah, Liar and Catilda too. They have the same border, and so this implies that this is the new treatments border we're going to get in Ixalan coming up later this year.
Ixalan didn't really have.
Because Ixalan didn't have this unique border.
Yeah, no, it didn't. The only thing that I think it really had was like when the enchantments were turned into lands. That was sort of the depth of like a unique design to it, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was only, that was only different art. The things weren't really different. They did have the really cool thing where all the flipped cards made a map, which was super cool.
Yeah. I mean, Exelon is overdue for some a visit. I do feel bad for it being the first thing after all of this. Like that's a tough act to follow.
How hard is it to get a new plane? I mean, how many repeat planes have we been into in a row now?
Yeah, we're on a streak now. When was the
last original plane?
New Capenna?
New Capenna. New Capenna, but then at the time, I think a lot of people were complaining that we're spending too little time at the planes, and then I feel like they overly course corrected. They were like, okay, well, we're going to obviously spend time on Dominaria because we've not been there enough, and then we're going to do the Phyrexian storyline, but it's almost like they overdid it, where people were saying like, can we stay for a couple of sets? And they're like, how about 7? And it's like, okay. Maybe not that long. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like too much. And like,
I thought the 2-set blocks were great.
And also,
too many.
We're kind of just going like this whole year. I don't think we visited a new plane, right?
No. It went like Dominaria, Brothers War, Phyrexia again, and then double the 2 ones you just talked about.
Yeah, it will be all. There'll be no original planes. But it almost makes me. I would be so disappointed if like Kaldheim just was like just a god and machine kind of thing, where it's just like it was there to be the provider of the world breaker. Like that was it. Like
just a plot element. That's it.
I mean,
no one could have ever called that though.
No. I mean, it's certainly. that would be really disappointing. I really truly hope that they don't destroy the IP just because they can do it, because or even at the very least, I know that there are a lot of people who get on the internet and they're like, oh, Magic doesn't have the guts to do this. Like they're gonna take back everything that they did to everybody, and nobody's gonna be Phyrexionized, and there's no like stakes, and so it would be
No.
yeah, it would be a big fu to those people by saying like, we're just gonna kill everyone. How do you think about that? And just sort of leave people like with their jaw.
Or reboot, even worse, like just reboot the whole thing, right?
But the reboot would be the same thing. It would just be like, okay, they died for a minute. Like you can't do the ender games of Endgame, like Endgame, the endest of games. Like this time it's ending harder.
They can go back to smaller stakes. I'm cool with that.
That's the problem with the constantly raising the stakes. How big can the stakes be?
That's how you get 4 Supermen.
The multiverse was at risk. Oh my god, the whole multiverse, and now the whole multiverse is at risk. But it's worse because now the whole multiverse will be made into something evil. What?
5 years ago, you needed like a whole planar bridge to go, and then there's the Kaldheim bridge, which is just the same thing but cooler and it's easier. Oh my god!
I know, like Tezzeret, like there was a condom in place that could stop this from happening, right? Like that was like the planar bridge was the thing that was needed, or no, it was the Immortal Sun. That was the condom that kept everybody from planeswalking everywhere. And
Rashmi invented the planar bridge. Talk about the worst invention in the history of the multiverse. Thanks a lot, Rashmi.
Yeah,
you nailed it. She must feel terrible.
Is she alive?
She's probably Phyrexionized.
She's probably loving it. She's probably like, I'm glad I did this.
I mean, let's face it, Kaladesh is not where you want to be when the Phyrexians come. Like everything's machinery.
No.
Like
it's basically mirrored in 2. That's it.
Yeah, it's
like a timber box.
Exactly. Just pour gasoline on it. Just be like okay. That one's done. We can go. Yahenni is Phyrexionize Yahenni. You can't Phyrexionize. Can you Phyrexionize of like Yahenni if he was?
I think if a Phyrexian like farts on that plane, it's over.
Phyrexian farts, God, that would smell bad too. It would smell like
Christ.
It's oily. Smell it and get corrupted.
Oily. So okay. So did we ever think? Okay, I'm curious though. Just to finish it up, did we ever have any like? We do think that they're going to be sagas for every Praetor, because
I'm calling it.
I feel like it could be. We could turning. Okay, because have you guys seen what Vorinclex looks like? His new artwork. Like, have you seen the new Vorinclex from March of the Machines?
Bring it up.
I'm bringing it up right now. It's coming up. Quick, people talk while I look. I can't wait for this Vorinclex art.
Did you actually know that there's just use the power of editing to skip ahead?
I know, but I'm going to do that. But I'm trying to do as little editing as possible because I feel bad. I feel guilty like going to Nate being like, so this one. Even though he's never.
We don't need any.
He's
here. Comes. Okay, Vorinclex is on his way right now.
He's coming. He's coming
here any second. Okay.
Any second now.
Yeah, he is. Okay, Vorinclex is going to come on our podcast.
Oh Christ!
He's here. He's come. Okay.
Yep.
So have a look.
Got squiggly arms.
Yeah, which makes me wonder.
Let's turn his arms, Cherries.
Which makes me wonder. Because my theory was maybe he could be a land, like some sort of like legendary land, because he seems to be turning into like what's going on, Vorin?
I just assumed that was like a root, and he was like running on it. He has other arms; they're kind of tiny.
I think that's him.
I'm not so sure.
I think that's him. I think so.
I never looked at it like that.
I think those are coming out of him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
those root things are coming out of him. They're not his arms. You're right, BZ. I see his arms now.
No. Okay. Wait.
He doesn't. He has 4 arms.
He has 4 arms. Like yes. Let me.
Yeah, okay. It kind of looks like there's claws on the ground there.
We're gonna zoom.
Like some kind of thing he's doing.
Okay, come on.
He's got two little T-Rex arms in his normal arms.
Well, then what's trying to grab him?
No, I think that is his arms because there's claws on the ground.
Like there's something's up. Like cool. I don't think that they would show him in. Like it's supposed to be him like at his most threatening, and why would they show him being defeated? Or
I think
felt.
I think the roots are coming out of him. I think he
And
controls them.
he's throwing something somewhere. That makes me. I thought Vorinclex got shafted by the art, but that's actually pretty cool.
Like he's looking looking to be like that. Looks like that's definitely like the what do they call it, the what's the place that he lives, the
Tangle,
The Great
or the
Tangle,
Hunter's Maze.
the Hunter's Maze. Yeah, it looks very Hunter's Mazy. I mean, maybe we should just like look at the whole kit and caboodle. Just be
But
like,
that's weird too, because
Should look at the
everybody else
Noodle.
seems to be like they're kind of like in the fray or doing something. They're all, I can see Realmbreaker and all the other arts. What is Vorinclex doing? Just like out
Vorinclex
at
is he's
he was always odd. He was always odd. You know,
He-
shoot in the basket.
he always what bothered me about Vorinclex. Look at his tiny little T-Rex arms.
He does. He got two little T-Rex arms.
Yeah, that's weird. It's like, to be honest, like he's not like, he just looks like he could fall over at any moment.
Oh, Christ.
He definitely
Like,
has the
wait, hold
worst,
on.
worst
You wanna
art
see
of the
a
new
good-
ones.
You want to see something silly that I really love? BZ, what's the legend that has the Vorinclex toy?
Oh, not Malcontor. It's the Blue Dominus. Just look, Dominus of Inquiry is the name.
Is that
Yes.
is it a toy? It comes with a toy,
Well-
like a.
Here, I'm pulling up right now, and then I can show you. It legit looks like he has a Vorinclex toy.
Oh
Uh,
It's like
Yeah, like,
I did
It's
buy
like-
the.
Here's-
plastic.
here's one of the arts where it just looks
Oh,
like he has a
yeah.
Vorinclex, and the other one is Urbrask, right?
Yeah, it does
Yeah,
look
so
like
He
that.
has two action figures. Oh no.
So he looks like he's playing with little action
Yeah.
figures, and
Like
then
the pew,
in,
pew,
there's-
pew,
in one of the
pew.
other ones, he's doing the same thing. Right here, he's
Pew.
got another Vorinclex. He's got
Oh,
the Vorinclex
Christ.
style
he's
again.
the art crop.
Yeah, he's clearly.
That's ridiculous. Like you go down to his
Yeah.
like area, and he's just like pew 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 pew
And he's
pew.
just like fighting. He's like, no, I
I'll
like
get
to
you.
imagine. The funniest thing is like he takes both of them and goes, now kiss.
He's shipping
That's
freighters.
true. That's quality.
The blue,
Like,
the blue dominance is writing fanfic.
like I love you so much. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's never fight again. I'm so
That's how
sorry.
Urbrask and Ayara get together.
I mean, I'm just saying it's something I don't. I mean, if whatever happens, let's hope it happens off screen, because
Oh my god,
Oof.
that's
you know-
disturbing.
Proliferate.
you want some fun lore? Do you know any of the lore of the Dominuses?
I don't know any of the lore of the Dominus.
Okay,
the
all of
Domini?
them. All of them have amazing
I know.
little lore. BZ, what is okay? So let's start with the white one. What's the white ones?
The white one, first of all, looks like it can't move, and it would either have to roll, which would be hilarious, or it'd have to do one of these. Like
Oh,
spikes.
It's-
in
it's-
order to
that's-
move. Doesn't have defender, so it can move. I think that one was like it melts your mind when you look at it.
Okay, yeah, that one's like that was the worst one. What about the black? Going on the blue. He is. Oh, I remember this one. The blue one's a jerk. The blue one flies over the heads of everybody and makes fun of them, like mocks them from above. Like I imagine him.
It's
He
such
takes
a blue
like
player thing
the
to do.
He can like take their form and
Like,
like mock
belittles
them.
them, yeah.
Yeah, he belittles them and mocks them. Like I imagine he like turns himself into like a mirror and he's like, "Ooh, I'm a mirror," and then keeps going.
Ew. I mean,
Yeah, then
imagine
morale,
that.
morale is destroyed.
Blue
These are also
players
good.
of something blue being a jerk. The thought blows my mind. I've
What
never
is-
met a.
What's the black one, BZ?
The black one walks around and he sticks Phyrexians and Mirans on like his spiked staff, but he like he's very particular about it because he wants them to stay alive so that their screams can make like a song
A
when he moves
symphony.
the staff around,
A symphony of
Okay.
horror.
like conducts it. Yeah, it's pretty messed
So
up.
my favorite one is the red one, though. The red one writes with they have molten appendages and they write commands on the wall. And each command is urgent and simultaneously contradicts another one of the commands.
Oh,
So
Christ.
every single one of her commands is contradictory and urgent.
And
Oh,
yeah,
so like basically, it's like politics. Like
They're just saying nonsense. Like she's like, do this. Oh, all right, and it's over. Do this.
and
that's
I
the green
love
one,
it.
the green one is like a praying mantis. It'll just like rip your head off.
Yeah.
It's literally
Yeah, that's
just
the
a
thing.
praying
I
man.
love it how deadly some of them are, and like how ridiculous the others are. It's just like, oh, it melts you when you look at it, and the other one swears at you.
yeah. The other
It's a
one's
bully.
like.
It literally just like mocks you. Like
Like, you're
Flying over, like,
stupid.
You stink.
Your duty face.
Yeah, the Abzan ones mean business, and then the blue red ones are just like who knows.
Yeah,
What they're doing.
what's going? Like the
I mean,
black one's like
the
that.
blue one is playing with literal dolls. Come on.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I love it. So okay, so real quick, we'll go back to the Praetors and like look. So what's going on here with with Sheldred. She
She might be small.
She has disembarked from something, or at least looks like it.
It looks like she's been cut. Somebody like took her off of the
Of her spider bottom.
whatever she was.
Well,
Whatever
she had to leave that on Dominaria. So when she went back to New Phyrexia, she would have been just a torso. Maybe she hasn't gotten a new thing yet.
Yeah. She's got something. I mean, that looks like that's part of her from the bottom. But what's weird here is, what is this thing? What's this statue with the giant?
Maybe it's the Black Dominance.
I'm not sure.
Whoa.
Maybe.
Beezy, maybe she's attaching to the Black Dominus.
That would be really.
Maybe that's what she's doing, because it looks like she's trying to attach to it, right?
Yeah, she's definitely she's connecting. Yeah, she's trying to make contact. That is actually I think honestly, if I were to say between like who is the most threatening of all the predators, I think it's Sheldred. I think Sheldred's like genuinely evil. Like Elish Norn is
like
evil, but she's just
Yawgmoth.
Yeah, she really is.
She's an old school Phyrexian. Like all the old Phyrexians are just mono black and evil. And
yeah.
Like, they didn't really do much else but be evil.
What I think is interesting about
I don't think any of the 4 Praetors besides Elishnorn would have done this invasion plan. So I don't know. I got to give the evilness to the Norners. Also, what's that behind Jin-Gitaxias? Is that his face behind him?
That is that looks
that
like
definitely looks like his face.
Well, so that looks like, it almost looks like a Eldrazi looking type thing, doesn't it?
Is it the blue Dominus?
I don't know. Maybe
is that what's happening?
They all have
do you guys have because what's happening with, for one thing's for sure, with Urabrask, he's not connected to the Dominus. It looks like something's going on where he's fighting against
the roots or something.
Yeah, he's slashing at some Nornian thing. Like,
yeah.
You can tell he's fighting Norn. So what's going on with
tree? So
Norn is most definitely like, she's Planeswalker style. But then again, no, they won't be all Planeswalker, but she definitely has the thing going on. So what's going on though? That's interesting. So what I do think is kind of crazy about, like, all of a sudden Jin's not wearing his skirt anymore. Now he's just got like tentacles, because I think everybody was like,
I didn't even notice that, but yeah.
He was bipedal before.
I guess.
And he's just like, never mind, we're going to get rid of his skirt. And all of a sudden.
Oh, no, that makes sense. He got fucking cut in half.
Oh, that's right.
Cut in half.
The Wanderer cut his ass in half. So it makes sense that he has a different bottom now.
Oh, right. That is a good point. Wow. Good.
Someone tell me why Jin-Gitaxias' face is in the background. Tell me what that is, please, because that's a little scary.
It's like, I can't tell you what. Wait, maybe is he like moving the statue?
Like, so you see, like, right above Jin's got like those horns. Right above there is like Jin's teeth.
Yeah, like this. You mean like right here?
Right. Yeah, that little head thing.
Yeah, it does look like Jin's. See, maybe
there's even an eyeball above that.
I wonder if there is going to be the wars happening between them. Like if they're going to be turning on each other.
Well, we already know Urabrask is against Alice, against Norn.
But now that the plan is taking motion, they probably want to fight. Like at least Jin and Sheldred want to be the father/mother of machines themselves, right?
Well, Jin and Sheldred could be in cahoots. They could take her down, and
we know Urabrask and Sheldred are in cahoots.
Yeah, well, Urabrask and Sheldred are in cahoots.
Yeah,
when did that happen?
Like,
I don't know.
It's kind of like off screen.
Yeah, we also know that. We know that from the card.
Charge.
Yeah, whatever it's called, where it's a black-red Phyrexian card.
Kethek is like their
Kethek. Yes, they built it together.
Truce joint creation thing, and then Volt Charge. They say that there's a war between them too.
Oh, that doesn't. Well, Jesus, like, so Urabrask, that's who you picked. Like, that's who you decided to, like. You're gonna stop.
Vorinclex and Jin are right there.
Well, to be fair, Urabrask from a flavor perspective is one of the coolest Praetors.
They just not on paper.
It's visual. The problem is visually and as a Magic card, they didn't really do him justice. Because in the lore, he's amazing. Because it's really interesting because he's like the biggest person, like the most drawn by his color, right? Because all the other ones, though, they care about like aspects of their color, they still follow Phyrexia.
Yeah,
he doesn't essentially. He's like, I just want Phyrexian to kind of be a normal thing where it's like, hey, if people want to be Phyrexian, they can. If they don't, oh well. But it's like he's the only one like that, and it's a very unique thing.
And
no,
then,
it's cool. It's cool from a flavor perspective.
But then he partners up his shoulder, and it's like, well, if you don't want to be a Phyrexian, then you're just going to be dead. Like, or have a spike shoved up your butt where you're going to be screaming for all eternity on the edge of some sort of monstrosity to be singing in like some sort of pain chorus of like nightmare song.
Fun.
It does.
I think one of the coolest ways to defeat the Praetors would be to let Urbrask win.
I would like to see him win, but I don't think he has it in him.
You let Urbrask be the father of machines.
Daddy.
He leads the Phyrexians with no. Like they're not evil really. They're just
sort
weird.
Of, yeah, they're just like these furnace creatures that just sort of flirt around.
Because like they were inherently evil at first. It's like, and you always think of them as evil because in the beginning of the mono black flag Phyrexians and Yawgmoth, it's like they were all evil. It's like every single one was evil, but they're not all inherently evil. Like,
but you still you have to eradicate the other colors because none of the other colors are ever going to.
Well,
yeah, they can't ever truly get along.
But that's not inherently true because those are all creations of like Norn. They could overall, but like Skrelv doesn't do anything bad anymore. Skrelv's just a weird defector, Mike.
Well, Skrelv just doesn't want to be scrapped for parts.
Well, he's probably the only reason he has to be scrapped for parts is because he won't listen. Like he's disobedient.
He was.
You sound like such a like harsh Phyrexian parent.
He was like, I don't want to do that.
Well, yeah, but he when you're deemed to be scrapped for parts, it's because you were not doing your job.
No. The defecting is not getting scrapped.
It's
like you're supposed to just get scrapped. If they want you to get scrapped, you just get scrapped, and you're like, cool. Can't wait to better Phyrexia by getting scrapped. But he's like, no, I don't want to do that. So that makes him a defector.
Like, I don't quite understand, because I remembered when we at Magic 30 they talked a lot about the Phyrexia like panel, that we were going to learn a lot more about Phyrexian society, and we were going to learn a lot more about the warring factions in between them. And I don't feel like we've gotten that much insight into what's going on. Like, I don't think I know too much more about them now than I did back then.
No, you didn't even know that. You didn't even know that Urbrask and Shieldred were teaming up to try to stop Elishnorn. I think that manifested in the story for like 2 seconds.
Where did that happen? Like, where was that? What story was that in? I just must have.
I think when they fell through one of the spheres, right when Nahiri sacrificed herself and she like made Shieldred's.
I completely missed that.
Coliseum like plunged
the
Phyrexian or whatever.
Arena.
I think there was a bunch of Phyrexians fighting. And I think some of it was Shieldred and Urbrask, and some of it was Elishnorn. I don't know.
Man, that is Urbrask, you dummy. Like, I was honestly waiting to see when Glissa was going to overtake the like Vorinclex, because he's a dummy. He's a big dummy. He's not bright. Like they even said like
too cool.
They even said like he has the most simplistic way of writing and like spelling. Like he's like me angry, me feel bad, you know. And Glissa is apparently the actual brains behind the operation. I want to see her take him out. Maybe that's what's happening to him. Maybe those aren't his arms. Maybe the Tangle's being Glissa driven. That would be fun. I mean, I just would like to see somebody.
Something on the back.
She showed up, but we didn't really learn much about her. Like we didn't.
I mean, like maybe she's on the backside of the card.
That would be cool. That would be awesome. We learned that we didn't learn how she got a giant like sword arm. Like out of nowhere, like just decided to have one. And it's like Nahiri already got two. She got 2 of those, which
it just pretty much. It just seems like you can do whatever you want. You can pretty much just do whatever you want to your body when you're Phyrexian. Like they just have all the modifications. Like if you're looking at the Jin you just had up, he has like a little knife arm. It's
can you imagine?
All right, you just got that.
If you're a Phyrexian and you get a sudden onslaught of diarrhea and you run to like the nearest like place to unload and you forget to change your arm, and right there you've impaled yourself. Like I could see myself doing that as a Phyrexian. That would probably be how I would die. I would just like impale myself and just be like, they'd find me dead. Be like, yeah.
I don't think Phyrexians use the bathroom, as far as I can tell.
That's an innovation. That's, you know what? Point for Phyrexians on that one.
Good for them. They
don't use the bathroom. They don't eat. They just kind of live.
Yeah.
If they want to eat, they can for fun.
They probably don't even sleep. Bonus.
They don't even sleep. But listen, if you're eating for fun, then you're pooping for fun, because it's got to go somewhere. I mean, I'm just saying.
No, they have it's just like you eat it and it just pops out your side.
Well then,
afterward.
but you, what if you, There has to be.
It,
It comes
it
out
goes
clean
in,
every time.
and then boop, just chewed up food just pops out your side.
That would be well.
Can
I
they
kinda
even
wanna-
do that with like regular, like organic thing? Don't they just like eat
No, they're
bananas?
oh, you know what? Then they don't actually. They eat it, and they just incorporate every bit of it into their body.
I think
Like they
Urbrest
use
gets
every
diarrhea.
every last bit. There's no waste. They use every last piece of it.
I think Urbrest has irritable bowel syndrome. I think he does. I think he's like, I could see him being like, oh, because I
Yep.
mean, I don't know. You live in a furnace, it's sort of sulfurous, like things like that happen. I'm just
You
saying.
can't do anything right. There's gonna be a whole chapter of the story devoted to it.
Yeah, that's
Or-
don't you hate that?
irritable bowel
About
syndrome.
him taking a shit, or about him just? Oh,
Do you-
No, about his terrible battle.
It's IBS.
Yeah, his IBS. His terrible
His-
battle.
his
he's been
battle with
waging
IBS.
for years.
I mean, honestly, he's
There's a
sort of
rebellion
like
in his stomach.
oh, the autonomous furnace in my stomach is going off. Oh my goodness. So I guess to wrap it up, so like, I mean, we're excited. The general consensus is excitement, but I think I know I'm nervous about what's going to happen next. And I also
Yeah, I am
do
too.
think Eldraine how can that be? I mean, it's going to be so hard to give a
broken?
shit. I mean, yeah, that's another thing too, is how is it not broken? Eldraine, I feel like has to be broken, like from a mechanic standpoint. If it's not, it's
That's the
like,
only thing it does.
yeah, and it was so broken. Like,
Every
you guys
card
think
was a 2 for 1.
do you guys think that might be the most broken set of all time? Eldraine?
I think it has one of the most that and like Modern Horizons have the most banned cards because you had like Fires was in there,
Mhm.
Escape to the Wilds was banned in standard, Oko. Every
Once Upon a
adventure
Time.
card is
Something- was it
played
Once
in
Upon a
every
Time?
format.
mm-hmm.
Once Upon a
was
Time,
banned.
which I forgot was even a card because it's banned in everything.
Yeah.
Oko, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, Oko like literally just broke the game. But you know what's weird? I even on Arena for that during period of time, I didn't play up against Oko too often. Like as much as the people were screaming and shouting, I never played him like against him except for a couple times on Arena during like the Eldraine fever. It's very odd.
Lucky.
I mean, did you get a lot of it? Like a lot
I don't
of
remember
Oko?
playing
I
standard too
I
much.
didn't play it. That's
Remember when
the-
Obnixos was supposed to get banned? That card was too good.
Yeah.
Which
can't believe they
the
printed that
Obnixless from New Capenna?
Yeah, everyone was complaining
it
about
was
that.
like, it's
Like,
so good
During the
it's so good.
pre-access event, they were like, "This card needs to be banned."
They're like that's so funny when people are
it
like
did.
ban it. But they
Currency's
are
going
bringing
nowhere.
Ragavan to Arena, and
Yeah.
that will
Probably
probably get
play against that
banned.
in Brawl.
Yeah, I think it'll be banned because it seems like Ragavan's just sort of like ban the monkey, like because I mean
And won't it be? That'd be what historic? It would see play in. It would be
Yeah.
legal.
historic, yeah, would be legal and historic, and probably like just alchemy historic or whatever the hell they call it. There's so many varieties of it, but
Ain't there gonna be like a balanced alchemy version then? Maybe that's what they're gonna go for.
Well, they could nerf it. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
that would be
Hopefully,
interesting.
hopefully.
But usually they have it connected to the set that it is, like the alchemy set's connected to the set that comes prior to it. So I don't see how he would be very like Phyrexia. But I mean, who knows? Everything's gonna be wild. I'm excited to see Olivia Voldaren is on. It's gonna be on Arena. Like,
Yeah.
exciting
I
for
mean, yeah. The
us vampire
new set, great cards. Let's see what's up with the story and the
Please
lore
stick the
later.
landing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please.
yes.
Yeah.
And I am excited about the
Leave them all
commanders too.
Phyrexianized.
Yeah.
The Eldrazi commander, I'm so buying that, and the slivers.
Oof.
Like just I've slivered myself. That was.
I mean, I'm
gross.
definitely gonna buy all those decks.
Yeah.
But I mean, if for an ending, if seeing as you went toward Commander Masters,
Yeah, I was worried that there was going to be He-Man when I first saw it.
Oh no.
Like I was thinking like Masters of the Universe, and I was like, oh man, Commander He-Man? Like no.
Come
But then
on.
I guess it is.
Commander
it's
Masters
gonna,
looks so good, and I'm so sad that the price point looks like it's gonna be so high.
I
Because
mean,
I would draft because it's gonna be a master set that you commander draft, and I can't think of any other cooler thing to draft than a
And-
Masters commander set.
well, and the commanders themselves are going to be coming with the plane chases, which is also going to include the die. So they're like, well, we got to, add $20 for the square piece of plastic. Like
Those aren't the price of the decks so far that I've seen. They aren't low, but they're not like
I thought they were
insane.
70 something.
Well, I can do 70 for those decks, but I'm talking about like set booster for like 420 is what they're selling on Amazon right now. I was like, that's
Wow.
stupid.
Commander Masters is 400 for set. Oh wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of
I
money.
want draft boosters, so I really hope they do. I hope that there's just like $200 draft boosters. I'll take 200.
Yeah, right.
200, that's fine.
And then we see Double Masters has went down. Double Masters down to like 280 because there was way more supply than we thought. Maybe that's going to happen with Commander Masters.
Hopefully.
I really
And-
hope $200 boxes of Commander Masters draft,
I'm not.
so I can
I
draft
actually-
it a bunch.
I actually have the Plane Chase game. Like, so I'm excited for the new like Plane Chase like cards.
Our
Like,
friend,
they're fun.
one of our friends loves Plane Chase,
so much fun.
Love-
All right, every once in a while.
and I
It's
I
fun.
literally am the one. I am the put my foot down person because everyone else is like, let's do it, and I'm like, no, please no.
You mean you just
God, no.
you just say no? Like you don't want to. You're like, I don't want to play. No, is that what you mean?
I hired no it because it's like
Hard no.
because they would play it way too much.
Oh,
They would be playing it like every other game. Like, and I'm just like, I don't want to do it. I
That's
just
a lot
like
of time.
Commander is already a wacky, over the top, crazy stuff's happening format already. I don't need to roll to a plane where everyone gets to put their lands into play.
And then you don't get it because they planeswalk away.
Oh well, I mean,
it's
playing
like it just
planes
warps
yeah.
the game.
with Commander, that's a different thing. What I'm talking about is like a building, like using the actual Plane Chase decks that come with it. Like I got the anthology, so it's got the 4
That would be
different.
different.
It's as wacky enough as it needs to be. But I there also are some like extended like decks that they've put out that like, you know, but I think if you did it like with a Commander set, like it would just be bonkers.
You could do it like once a game night.
You could do it like one time a night, maybe.
Once a week or something. No, but again, no, every game that sounds like that.
It would be bonkers.
Too much Commander. The randomness, no, too much.
Well, I had fun tonight talking about Mom. Everyone, what
too.
about you?
It was a good
can't
You
time.
wait
guys
for
have
Mom.
fun?
I'm very excited for Mom.
Everybody loves Mom. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mommy and machines. Well, I guess that is that. I thank you guys for taking the time to co-host with me, and I can't wait to co-host again. And if anybody out there is interested, please come on my podcast. Or come on our podcast. Allison, would you like to?
Come to the pod.
Vorinclex already did it.
Vorinclex came on my podcast.
Bye-bye.